This is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am a Stamping Up demonstrator. And so I'm showing you here the 3 cards from the June paper pumpkin kit called Sweet Life. And on the bottom are my 3 alternatives to the cards. So I'm going to show you how I made these, and here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use the green background so there's the original, and the original has the green leaves going around the vellum backing of it, which is, it just kind of calms the background some so the other elements stick out more. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the background. I hate to do this, the back piece, because I really love the fact that these cards are decorated for the most part, on the front and back. And I just really like having a card that is something other than just plain white on the back of it. And so, but you can get a lot more cards out of your kits. You can double it, by cutting off the backgrounds. Now, it just so happens that one of the cards in this kit is white background. So, you don't necessarily have to do that with a white background. So you could add, depending on how you do things, you could add at least 4 cards along with the 9. So, that gives you 13 cards. So it ends up being a super good deal for, inexpensive, but most importantly, handmade cards. So I was going to make this a thank you card. And I started having some problems with my ink, and I don't know why it started, because at first it started off just perfectly. So maybe it's me. Could be. Because that's not bad. And then as I went further along, my ink got spottier and spottier. So it's probably me, and if anybody knows, please feel free to leave it in the comments below and tell me what I'm doing. So I decided to just go with it. You can tell what it says. It is spotty. The background is kind of sort of spotty, not quite spotty, but anyway, I'm going with, it's my distressed sentiment. So I'm adding the peaches. And they give you a whole lot of peaches on this, so you don't have to use all of them, and that's how you can stretch your elements on your backgrounds on your second page of your card if you want. So the other thing that you can do is, but I don't have them, is Stampin' Up has die cuts that coordinate perfectly with these die cut pieces. So that is available on my website. So I'm making, since peaches are so sweet, I'm saying thanks, my sweet friend, or not my, but just sweet friend. And when I see peaches, having lived in Texas for as long as I have, my first thought is peach cobbler. And it's just a thing. I don't think I had much cobbler when I lived in New York, but I have had 2 or 3 lifetimes of cobbler of every flavor since I've been in Texas, since 1973, probably long before some of you were born. So I'm popping up, put one peach flat and 1 peach popped up, so it adds some dimension. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up my sentiment. Oop. Sometimes I pick up the card and the elements fall off because I forgot to put them on there. So put a couple of little flat glue dots, and pop up one of the smaller peaches. Look how handy that, picket tool is, whatever it's called. It has all sorts of ends to it, but I mean, you can use the sharp end for some of everything. Anywho, there's my pearls, and I am going to glue this onto one of my pre-made cards. So they're for 5.25 by 4.25 cards, and I'm just going to put the card front, glue it on top. And then since it says Sweet Friend on the outside, I'm going to use the phrase, which is perfect for the inside of the card. And it's, life is so much sweeter with a friend like you. So, perfect combination. I'm just making sure I'm getting a good impression. I'm a little paranoid about my ink thing, because I tried making, with the thanks, you can see that the ink was a little wonky, but it works better with the smaller, thinner fonts. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it. I hit it on you. And I hit it because I messed it up, because I kind of moved the stamp. So I had to go find just a cut I had from, that I just kind of keep round cuts and oval cuts and stuff available to the side for sentiment purposes or for covering up boo-boos. And so I found this oval, and it was perfect shape for this sentiment. And to make it stand out from the background, I just kind of took a sponge and the ink and just sponged the edge of it. So, and I didn't want to pop it up, because then you could see underneath and see that I goofed. So that's why it got made flat. So there's my first alternative card. And for me, I need, thank you cards more. So there's my thank you card. So I'm going to go ahead and make some more cards. The next one is with the cherries, and I don't know what color to call that. I don't know my color names yet. I'm sorry. So I'm just, like I've said, I'm using all of the elements from the kit, because I have so much stuff from doing scrapbooking and card making for, let's see, well, actually it's more like 20 years. I think I said 15 at one point, but no, it's more like 20 years. So my room is packed to the gills, so I have to figure out either having a sale or do something to just kind of make more room. Anyway, so I'm using the vellum background, and this tones down the leaves so that the cherries will stick out a little bit more, be a little bit more vibrant. And I love this. Actually what I wish I had done was to cut off that scalloped edge, because it's going to get hidden underneath the red strip that I made. Okay, so I'm going right to the very edge and about 1/4 inch at the top and bottom. And see, I could have cut that off, and the cut edge would have been hidden by my red strip, and then I could have used the element of the scallops for another card. Anyway, you can either use, I tore this cardstock towards me so that it just so happens that the cardstock that I have has a white core. But you don't have to use the one with the white core. You could flip it over and just have the solid color. So I'm going to go ahead and I do like that Sweet Friend, I have to say. So I'm going to use the little shorter label and put Sweet Friend on it. And I do, and it's crooked. And so I flip it over because that's why you have two sides of things. And there we go. Little bit more accurate. So I'm going to pop it up once again and put it down towards the bottom, towards the right edge. And then I'm going to add the cherries on there. So the red is a really good color match to the cherries. And going to make one flat like I did the peaches. And then one popped up. And so I like using up a kit. I mean, there's nothing that makes me happier than using everything in a kit, and then I can throw all sorts of stuff away, all the boxes and what have you. So I would like to get on my soapbox here and say, you know, for those of us who've been doing this kind of stuff for a long time, we have a lot of stuff. And so I like being able to use up all the pieces in a kit so I don't have to, you know, come up with a clever way of storing, if you know what I mean. So I'm putting some pearls on here, and there's my card. And I think I'll add what am I going to add? Because I really, really like this stamp. I like the stamp set. You know, your stamp sets that you get with these paper pumpkins, they are so good for making a stash of card making sentiments that are right there handy to use. So it's the one thing you don't want to use up or throw away is your stamp sets, because you can use them over and over for years and years. And they go along, and it's not like they really get dated. So there's my two originals at the top and the alternates at the bottom, using all the elements from the kit. Now you could make a little bow with the string that came in the kit. I didn't. And like I said, you want to use up your stuff, so making some bows would be a good thing. Okay, this is going to be my third alternative, and it's probably going to be, you know, the other stuff that I have left, I'll probably just make, well, I don't know what I've got left, so I'll see. So I was trying to figure out whether to use, you know, the group of leaves or the border, and I'm just going to use the group of leaves. Those peaches are a bright yellow and stick out nicely from the greenery. And I am going to use a perfect phrase on this stamp set. Yeah, I'm still thinking, what do I want to do? Well, that's the original. So they had a congrats on there. And I don't know. I mean, that's good for you if you have a congratulations. But this sentiment makes a whole lot of sense to me. I love how you can just make a little stack of those backgrounds with your little pokey tool. Okay, so I'm going to put down kind of centering. And then the lemons are going to go one flat and one popped up. And it is easy to use the roll-on adhesive little web there. And then, of course, popping up. So anyway, I think these are really cute cards. I have to say I've been impressed with the paper pumpkin. I think it's a reasonable subscription. You can get, 1 month or, 6 months or 12 months. Okay, so here is the perfect phrase to go along with lemons. And I wish they had a phrase that said making lemonade. Sending a big squeeze. So perfect, right? I mean, because what do you do with lemons? You squeeze them to make lemonade. Or chicken piccata. Wouldn't that be good? So I'm sending a big squeeze. And then it kind of made sense. If you're sending a squeeze, then it's because you can't be there for somebody. And so I'm going to put down miss you. I'll use the die cuts that came with. But, white doesn't stick out very nicely on white. So I'm going to take one of the backgrounds that I cut off of that, maybe that Shy Shamrock. See, I remembered that because that's the color of the ink. And I'm going to cut down a piece that will hold the miss you just right. And this is too narrow. Excuse me.
Sure
Now my watch is talking to me. That was 1.5, so that was not wide enough. So I cut a piece that is 3.25, so I cut an inch off of one end and made it, what did I do? Oh, it's 2.5 by 3.25. That's what it is. So that's 2.5 by 3.25, and that holds the miss you just right. So I'm just going to put that flat with my roll-on adhesive and center it in between. And then I'm going to pop up miss you. Got to find a space that holds. You could cut the edges of the foam there and make some smaller pieces. So there's the miss, and I'm using a pearl instead of one of the dots for my dot at the top of the eye. And perfect spot for that little foam dimensional. And there we go for miss you. So there we go. There's my third alternative card. And there's the original, so I'm just going to go ahead. There's the original and then the alternate card. And now you do not want to see the chaos that I work in. I start off neat and it becomes chaotic very quickly. I don't know what the problem is with me. So I'm going to put the originals of the kit on top. Those were the instructions for the original cards. And then my alternatives are at the bottom. So there we go. Anyway, I hope you like these, and I hope it gives you some ideas of, how to make your paper pumpkin card kits, and try to use up all your elements so you don't have to store them anyplace. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe and learn along with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.